I now give the floor to the distinguished representative of Vanuatu to introduce an address by the head of government.
Madam President, Excellencies, I have the distinct honor and privilege to introduce the pre-recorded statement of His Excellency Bob Lofman Weibu, the Prime Minister of the Republic of Vanuatu.
Mr. President, Excellencies, Heads of State and Governments, Mr. Secretary General, Mr. President, as we look ahead to the future we want, we must picture a world of freedom, one that is free from persecution and human rights abuses. This year, as my country celebrates our 40th anniversary independence, we are reminded of our strong cultural connection with the Yumanibne and Yumanang Islands, commonly referred to in English as Matthew and Hunter Islands. Although they were integral parts of Vanuatu during its colonial period, France has regrettably and unlawfully claimed them as its own. Beyond representing the failure to complete the decolonization of Vanuatu, France's actions have impeded the ability of the Ni Vanuatu people to perform their traditional cultural and religious practices on the islands. This is of particular concern because maintaining our people's cultural heritage is of the greatest importance to the Ni Vanuatu people. We have endured a long and unfortunate history of colonial exploitation. Although all Ni Vanuatu consider Yumanubne and Yumanang to be sacred, they have particularly great significance for those who come from the islands of Tana, Futuna, and Anaijam. For countless generations, the indigenous people of those islands have performed sacred rituals on them. To this day, Yumanubne and Yumanang continue to maintain a central place in the religious observance of their people. I look forward to their return to the islands, as facilitated by the former UN Special Rapporteur on the rights of indigenous peoples. Furthermore, we are also mindful that some territories continue their struggle for freedom. In our region, New Caledonia will soon face another referendum on the question of independence. It is important that this remains free, fair, and transparent, and continues under the supervision of the United Nations. Mr. President, we know there are widespread human rights violations happening all around us. And yet, it seems the world is taking a selective approach to addressing this. In our region, the indigenous people of West Papua continue to suffer from human rights abuses. Last year, leaders from the Pacific Islands Forum respectfully called on the Indonesian government to allow the United Nations Office of the Human Rights Commissioner to visit West Papua province. To date, there has been little progress on this front. I therefore call on the Indonesian government to please heed the previous call of Pacific leaders. Mr. President, the theme of this 75th General Assembly calls on us, the member states of the United Nations, to come together to frame the future we want. For Vanuatu, this extraordinary difficult year has been the backdrop to the start of the next phase of nation building, marked by our independence celebration, culminating with our LDC graduation in a few months. We hope that by sharing our experiences, we can contribute to global learning as we navigate the current crisis and work together in the pursuit of sustained peace and sustainable development. And as we emerge from the grip of COVID-19, we should continue to align our national and global recovery to existing commitments, to reorientate growth models to the ones that are more sustainable and greener in nature. More than ever, multilateralism must be defended and responded to the evolving needs of our times. The UN Charter remains our moral compass and continues to remind us of our common duties to save humanity. I thank you, Mr. President, and God bless you all.
On behalf of the General Assembly, I wish to thank the Prime Minister of the Republic of Vanuatu for the statement just made. I now give the floor to the distinguished representative of Cabo Verde to introduce an address by the head of government.